is shocked by this. Who would be surprised that somebody who kicks and hits their dog and spits on their dog would get rid of their dog? Hey bitch, and welcome back to me talking about people I hate. I'm gonna be really honest, this was not the video that I wanted to film for today, but I really just wanted to come on here and rant really quick. My biggest reason why I'm continuing to follow this story, not closely because this video came out more than a month ago, I think. I don't follow her. I don't really give a shit about what she does because she's just very irrelevant, and I think that by making this video, it's giving her exactly what she wants, which is views and recognition, because she wants to be relevant again. One of the things I hate the most about being an animal activist is when people abuse animals and then they wait for time to pass before being like, oh, well, I don't know why you still hold that against me. Like, I deserve to be here and you should just forget about that or let it go because it happened so long ago. And I've already apologized for it. I've already said I'm sorry. Yeah, Michael Vick said he was sorry for literally murdering and electrocuting and hanging dogs and fighting them. Just because you say you're sorry, it doesn't mean that the public owes you forgiveness. It doesn't mean that your slate is automatically wiped clean just because time went by, just because you said you were sorry. Like, fuck you. The only reason I'm making this video is because I saw recently that Brooke Houts got rid of her Doberman that she abused on camera, and probably abused behind the scenes if she was literally willing to, post that video of her abusing her dog on camera. And just to recap, for those of you who don't really remember a lot about Brooke Houts, not only did she abuse her dog and upload it to YouTube, but she also exploited her dog relentlessly all over her YouTube channel. The videos that were getting her the most views at the time were videos about her and her dog, and she still to this day is clickbaiting and exploiting her dog for views because now she's clinging on to that little bit of controversy she has left, a little bit of relevance she has left to try and get more views to her channel. This is clickbaiting your dog. This is exploiting your dog, and she's literally still doing that even after getting rid of him. So it just really goes to show you the type of person she is. I wanted to react to this, and I just wanted to make this video to say, why the fuck is this girl still on YouTube? I'm not saying that she needs to be vilified for the rest of her life. People can grow, people can change. She needs to go to therapy and have all of her issues psychologically evaluated, because that's really the only way she's going to change. This starts with her, but I don't think she needs to be on YouTube. People get fired from jobs, people have their careers ripped away when they fuck up in a really big way. You are not owed any job or any platform. And to be honest, this is my problem with YouTube, and this is why I'm making this video. Animal abusers on YouTube should not be allowed to have a YouTube channel. If you abuse your animal on camera, YouTube should automatically remove your channel, and you should not have the opportunity to come back from that. Even if this person truly has changed and truly is apologetic, you lost that privilege. The fact that she's still on YouTube blows my fucking mind. I am not at all surprised that someone who has no knowledge of dogs at all, like Brooke Houts, would get rid of her dog. As somebody who volunteered and worked at animal rescue shelters for almost all of my life, you get people like Brooke Houts adopting a Doberman Pinscher that she has no idea how to handle or train or give enough exercise to, and then she ruins the dog. Let's watch this video, because apparently she got rid of her dog, which, are we surprised? No. I personally, before we even get into this, feel like she got rid of her dog because she really wants to start YouTube back up again, and she knows that her dog is this constant reminder of her being an abusive person that nobody wants to watch or subscribe to, and it'll consistently be brought up for as long as she has the dog.
Hi guys, I hope you're doing well.
Why is that so loud? What is wrong with her microphone?
I'm back with a video talking about my dog Sphinx. Recently, you may have noticed that he hasn't been in a lot of videos. He hasn't been on my Instagram, so I'm basically here to tell you why.
I mean, who cares? And does anybody watch your content anyway? She's like, recently you may have noticed. Nobody cares. Are your views down for the month? Because clearly this video talking about her dog and exploiting him is like one of the most viewed videos on her channel so far in a while. I mean, she's clearly just making this video because she needs content.
As you guys may or may not know, Sphinx is my Doberman who I've had since he was a puppy. I definitely made some crucial mistakes in training him when he was little. There were definitely some things I did wrong. That's very obvious, and I still take full responsibility for that. That's on me, that's my fault, and I'm still very, very sorry for those mistakes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly why this girl should not have a platform, because she is still trying to downplay what she did to her dog. As I talked about in the very first video I made about her when this story broke, there are so many psychological things that happen to an animal that is physically abused. It literally changes that animal's way of thinking and behaving around people and other animals and even food. This is so much more detrimental than just, oh, I made a mistake. Slapping your dog in the face and spitting on him and kicking him is not a mistake. Even if you didn't know how to train your dog, you live in the United States, you live in Los Angeles, it's widely known across the world that you don't physically beat or abuse your animals. You knew it was wrong. So when you know something's wrong and you do it anyway, that's not a mistake. She still can't take responsibility for what she did, and she's trying to downplay it.
I do believe that me not being able to give him the time and attention he deserves in that way of training on a consistent basis is what led to some behavioral issues. Basically, ever since I got Sphinx, he had full reign of the house. He could do basically whatever he wanted because I didn't know how to train him in the proper way.
Oh my god. First of all, did I call it because I fucking called it that this dog was gonna have behavioral problems and that was gonna be why she ended up euthanizing it or getting rid of it, or why this dog was gonna have serious issues down the road? God, this makes me so mad. This is an abuser trying to justify her reasoning for what she's doing. She knows that people are going to attack her for not only what she did to her dog, but now also not taking responsibility for it and not trying to better the life of her animal, which, to be fair, that dog, given how obviously ridiculously stupid she is going to have a much better life with somebody else who's much more competent and capable of training it and giving a good life. But at the same time, this is why dogs like her dog end up in rescue shelters, euthanized, have severe behavioral problems. It's because of bad owners like this. Be a responsible person before you decide to literally take on the life of another animal. That's a big commitment. And here we go, she's just on this whole long train of just excusing it because she knows that she's wrong.
But what I'm trying to say is when he got his first taste of training, professional training at about a year old, it went well in some ways it didn't. And then when Teal came into his life at about a year and a half old, there were some things, again, that went really well in training and some things that didn't. But if you think about it, taking a puppy that doesn't really have any structured training and then throwing them into training, at first it was gradual and then we started into daily obedience. That is something that in some ways it was great, in some ways he didn't react so well.
This girl is so full of shit. I honestly would not even be surprised if she sent this dog to training at all. Throwing an animal into training, especially an older animal, is exactly what this dog needed. This dog didn't need gradual training. Gradual training is something that you do if you have like a puppy or an animal that is not fully grown yet, that can't handle just a complete overstimulation of training or, you know, new behaviors it needs to pick up or habits. When you have a fully grown dog, the first thing you need to do is put them in training every day to break those habits. That's the only way you're going to do it, because that dog is already fully grown, set in his ways, needs additional training. Training takes a lot longer than just 6 months or however long she tried to train her dog for. Usually when you train an animal, it lasts for years, if not that animal's entire life. You keep up consistency with their training every day. There's no such thing thing as ending an animal's training. It's exactly why you get horses where people will say, you need to keep up the training with the horse or else the horse is not going to be rideable if you just let it sit there for 6 months. You can't just pick that up like riding a bike. Brooke Houts is blaming her dog for her dog not being able to deal with the training. You abused your dog and now you're blaming your dog for why you're getting rid of him, which, oh my God.
Sphinx is a very smart and intelligent dog, and I do believe that Dobermans are absolutely amazing dogs, but there are some things that we just could not break him out of through training that became very problematic, unpredictable, and uncontrollable.
Then your training sucked. Because Dobermans are very intelligent dogs. Dobermans, if you know how to train a Doberman pinscher, they can be very, very easy to train with consistency. They're harder to train than other dogs because they're not stupid. But the thing that you get with a dog that's not dumb is a dog that's able to pick up the training quicker and do things easier because they understand you more clearly and are able to figure out complex situations and problems more quickly. But with a dog that's hyper intelligent like Doberman pinschers, you always have to stay on your feet and you have to be consistent. I guarantee you this dog was much smarter than both of them put together and was like, yeah, I'm not listening to your dumbass training methods, please. But again, she's blaming her dog, saying, well, he's too smart for me, so I got rid of him.
I never saw this coming, but since moving from LA to where we live now, Sphinx attacked 4 dogs.
Not surprised. You beat your dog. Not only did you hit your dog, but you kicked your dog and spit on him, and I'm sure many other things, and that was when he was a puppy, so he was probably being brought up with that type of psychological torment. Science has proven that there's a link between physically abusing animals and those animals becoming aggressive to humans and other animals. Abusing your dog is so much more detrimental than people think. It will cause the dog to have so many behavioral and psychological issues. This dog became aggressive because of Brooke Houts and the way she treated it when he was a puppy. Idiot. Oh my God, I can't.
Luckily, everyone was very, very nice. Every dog and owner that we came into contact with in that unfortunate way were very, very nice and understanding about the situation. We are so grateful for that because if anything could have gone wrong, if someone would have pressed charges or sued us, Sphinx could have been put down and we could have lost basically everything.
Which would have been your fault because you're an irresponsible dog owner. Hello?
One time we were traveling and Sphinx actually attacked a family friend's dog, bit them, there was blood, it was an awful situation. It could have been a lot worse, and we're thankful that every time that he showed this aggressive behavior that we were there to immediately break up the situation. It was never something that continued, it was something that every single time, luckily, we were there to just break up right away. As soon as it started to happen, even after the first time, even after the second time, even after the third time, we knew that this wasn't normal and it wasn't something that we ourselves were able to fix through training.
Then send your fucking dog to a professional trainer, which you should have done in the first place. Nobody thinks that you are capable of training a dog, Brooke, okay?
And then on top of all of that happening, we actually moved into a new home recently where the HOA won't allow his breed of dog. We can't insure him. There were a lot of obstacles that we had to face. Throughout all of this, no matter what, we wanted whatever was best for Sphinx. That's our first priority. We wanted to make sure that no matter what, he was in a situation to live his best life possible, for the people around us and dogs around us to be safe, for him to be safe, and for us to be safe as well. So throughout all of this going on, all these months of us trying so hard to put hours and hours into training him, making sure that this was not something that we could personally fix, making sure that we were keeping him as safe as possible, but we knew that that situation would come up again in his life no matter what, as long as he was with us, because we do a lot of traveling. We were always on the move. He would come everywhere with us. We knew that it was inevitable, even if he was home all the time, which wouldn't be good for him, that that situation would come up again where he would have the opportunity to attack another dog.
Do you guys notice how fast she's talking? She's not even doing this for us at this point. She's literally making all these reasons and excuses to try to convince herself that she's doing the right thing because she knows that she's giving up on her dog. This is the thing that annoys me so much about people giving away dogs, because they say, oh, my living situation, the apartment I'm moving to doesn't allow them, so I need to get rid of them. Okay, then clearly you didn't care that much about your dog, because if you had a child and the apartment complex said I can't take your child, then you wouldn't move there. My dogs are part of my family. If some apartment complex or living situation I had said to me that I couldn't have my dogs, then I wouldn't move there. So your living situation is more important than your supposed family member that you care so deeply about. Whatever. She's just trying to find excuses to get rid of her dog because she wants to stay relevant on YouTube.
So we made the very tough decision to rehome Sphinx. The biggest thing was finding a place where he would be safe and happy, where he would have enough room to run around, where he would be loved and cared for in the proper way by a new family. So we reached out to close family and friends, and we actually found a family that was a perfect match.
If she really cared so much about her dog having a good life, she would have gotten rid of him as soon as it came out that she was physically abusing him. In fact, it probably would have gone over a lot better had she given him to somebody who could appropriately train him, or an animal behavioralist or something, as soon as the story broke that she was abusing her dog 2 years ago. Now she wants to get rid of her dog because it's an inconvenience to her. Yeah, whatever.
Ended up going with a close friend who had a huge enclosed backyard, which was perfect for him to run around in and be safe in. We felt really good about that. They also have a big dog that he is now best friends with. It's the most amazing thing. It's honestly the perfect situation. Such a godsend. They also have kids that are home all the time. They can watch over him, care for him, and they think that he's the coolest dog ever, which is really awesome. I also get text updates and photos of him sent to me all the time. I can go see him whenever I want, so it really ended up being perfect. I don't want anyone else to ever have to go through what we went through, so please, if you have a puppy, take the time to train them. That's a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, and I definitely have learned so many lessons over the 2 years that I had Sphinx. I miss like having him by the fireplace. I miss having him cuddle with us.
She should never be allowed to own an animal ever again. I feel so horrible for this dog because, I mean, can we really take Brooke Houts for her word? No. Do I believe that she gave her dog away? Absolutely. But do we know if her dog really went to this loving home or if she just gave it to a rescue shelter? No, we don't know that. Regardless of where that dog went, he's probably in a much better living situation than he was with her, given that he was literally becoming aggressive to other animals because of her. I think it's good that she finally got rid of her dog. I feel horrible for the dog, that the dog has so many issues now because of her, and I think it's ridiculous that she's trying to get sympathy and pity from this. Oh, I love him so much and I care about him so much. Well, you obviously didn't care about him enough to even live in a place that could house him. She made up all these excuses as to why she's getting rid of him. Dogs who have behavioral problems are not difficult to work with. It's very, very easy if you know what you're doing to work with dogs that have dog aggression issues. My dog Rex was severely aggressive to other dogs when I rescued him from the pound, and I spent a solid 6 months doing behavioral training with him with other dogs, and he's great now. He goes to the dog park almost every day. Dog aggression is something that is not permanent, and if you know what you're doing, which clearly she didn't, it's something that you can work with.
Having his big clumsy self like run through the yard, or when we had like our first snow, there are certain things that like only a dog can bring you.
Like, there's no tear on her face. She's just fake crying. Like, you hear the crying, but you don't see it, you know what I mean? She's just trying to get sympathy because she doesn't want her YouTube career to be over, which it should have been 2 years ago.
That joy. I really do miss him so much. He was such a great dog in so many ways. I was really worried that he would miss us or be thinking about us, but I know that there's no possible way that that could be happening because he's in such a good home now. I hope that this video answered any questions that you guys might have.
That dog does not miss you, and it probably never will, so.
I know that this might be shocking to some of you. This might be something that people have a lot of opinions and judgments on.
Like, nobody is shocked by this. Who would be surprised that somebody who kicks and hits their dog and spits on their dog would get rid of their dog?
But just know that no matter what, we wanted to do what was best for him. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for your support.
God bless. Oh my God. I mean, anybody who's making up that many excuses on camera as to why they got rid of their animal is just clearly lying about it because they're trying to make themselves feel better about giving up on their dog. It's just funny that those were the reasons she gave as to why she got rid of her dog. It's just so pathetic. She shouldn't be allowed to have a fresh start on this platform. She abused her dog on camera, and this is not a reason for her to start fresh on YouTube because she decided to then abandon her dog. She shouldn't be on YouTube in general, and I think this is a perfect example of YouTube needing to not only demonetize, but just absolutely 100% get rid of creators that openly abuse animals and not give them the opportunity to have a second chance. But hey, that's just me and that's just my opinion, which is like obviously the right one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you so much. Thank you again to Coldest Water for sponsoring this video. That link is down below. I will see you guys in my next video, and hopefully it'll be about something that's a bit more relevant than Brooke Houts. And honestly, I hope that people continue to not watch her videos and not give her that satisfaction of a view, which she's clearly seeking at this point, because she's still clickbaiting the dog that she abused and now doesn't own. So great job on exploitation.